That day was the most desperate day of my life. I hammered countless nails into the door, trying to keep my mother safe inside, but the car still broke through the gates. Two strong men held me down, while others crashed against the door with greed in their eyes. There was a cruel rule here. Whenever a lord desired a woman, his men would take her to him, and no woman could escape. That day, my mother was chosen. The lustful lord came with his men to take her. Even though I had nailed the door shut, under their blows, the door was forced open. I saw despair on my mother's face, and for a moment, I felt powerless. At the last moment, my brother, young Prince Devara, arrived. He wanted to save her, but the cunning lord invoked the law. The old king had once decreed that every lord could rule his land in his own way, and even a prince could not interfere. My brother had no choice but to give away his best territory in exchange for our safety. When the Lord left with his men, my brother immediately sent people to escort us away, because he knew that by tomorrow he himself would face punishment. I understood how serious it was. For my mother's sake, I had to leave. I gave him a solemn promise.
నీవొక్కడి కోసం నువ్వు ఎప్పుడు పిలిచినా నేనిక్కడికొస్తా.
I knew I would come back here. 20 years later, my mother and I lived in a remote village. No one knew that behind my gentle appearance, I was in fact the hidden chief of a secret tribe. I kept waiting for my brother's call. One day, a car stopped at my forge. My brother and I met again after so many years. When I learned about his situation, I agreed without hesitation to return with him to that city of demons. After 20 years, I saw how much had changed. The prince who once carried pride was now treated with humiliation. I learned that because he gave up his land to save my mother, the king grew furious and since then abandoned his youngest son. In this brutal place, without his father's protection, my brother lived in misery. Even though he was still a lord, he was constantly insulted and provoked. But one thing in this city never changed: the brutal lords who still killed and robbed and dragged women away as toys. Watching their greed brought back the memories of my childhood. I could not hold back anymore. I killed one of them without hesitation. For the first time in 1,000 years, someone had dared to kill a lord in public. Because of that, my brother and I were both thrown into prison, our fate to be decided by the vote of the lords.